Hi. It's been a while. I thought we could go through a few life updates while I make my meal prep for the week. So, I'm going to start with my egg muffins. I normally do 1 egg and 100 ml of egg white per day. So I'm only making 2 days worth here. So 2 eggs and 200, I always get some shelling. I once saw something that said you should always break your eggs individually, so break them into a bowl one by one, because if you get shell in, it's so much easier to fish out from a single egg than if you had 6 or something in there. Which I think is quite clever, but I've just never followed through on that. 200 grams of egg whites. Grams? Mils. So I suppose the first topic to address. Oh, whoops, went over on my egg whites. I suppose that's not the worst thing in the world, is it? A couple of rather large life updates from me. First of all, I cut all my hair off since we last spoke. I had 12 inches cut off in July last year. So it's been about 9 months now. Always season with pepper with your eggs. It's been about 12 months now. 12? 9 months now. I love it. I actually only just had it cut again this week, so it's very short, but really pleased with it. She did such a nice job. I cut it because I donated my hair to the Little Princess Trust charity, and yeah, I'm just really pleased with it. Even though it was obviously made for a charitable donation, it's obviously I have to live with the short hair, and the second she made that cut I went, I love this, why did I not do this sooner? So yeah, that's the first big life update from me, I guess. So the other big elephant in the room, I guess, in terms of life updates is I'm in New Zealand. The cooker completely ruined my big announcement. I'm in New Zealand. I live in Wellington now, in New Zealand. Not long after I cut all my hair off. So in July of 2025, I moved from York in England to Wellington in New Zealand. I had a couple of months of travel along the way with that. Next we go in with feta cheese. I buy it in such large blocks that I need to keep it in a Tupperware because it gets all crumbly, but a bit of feta cheese. Yeah, I now live in New Zealand, and I have done since, well, about October of 2025, so what's that, about 6 months now? Yeah, I took a few months out on the way over here to go traveling. I went to Thailand, Malaysia, Singapore, had to go back to the UK for a wedding, and then from the UK I flew back to Singapore via Rome and Abu Dhabi. I went to Singapore again in October. My brother lives in Singapore, hence why I go there quite regularly. I inadvertently went to the Singapore Grand Prix. That was so much fun. And then I flew from Singapore to Brisbane in Australia. I love feta. I flew to Brisbane via Ho Chi Minh City. I had 17 hours in Ho Chi Minh, which was not even the first time I went to Ho Chi Minh City last year. Can you believe it? How ridiculous is that? So I just had a night there where I got a Vietnamese massage and some bami, which was lovely. Just pour these in straight into the muffin tray. Don't need any muffin cases, I found. Maybe once the silicone wearing wears off a little bit on this, but for now it's pretty good. And I find that with these ratios, I normally get 3 muffins per day. So my 6-tin muffin tray will do me for 2 days worth of breakfast. So I only make them 2 days at a time. Yeah, so I flew to Brisbane, and then I traveled down the coast of New South Wales. Well, I went to Brisbane, the Gold Coast, and then I met up with some friends in Newcastle in New South Wales, and then down to Sydney to see another friend, and then home to Wellington. That was in October last year. Although it's a long convoluted story of me coming here, going traveling or whatever, but when I first got to New Zealand was actually in July last year, and then I went on a little holiday where I went down to the South Island to see some friends that live in Wanaka down there, and then I went over to Sydney to go and watch the Lions test, which was absolutely incredible and a dream come true. And I can't believe these words keep coming out of my mouth. Next up is some cherry tomatoes. Yeah, I've been back in New Zealand since October. I didn't have a job to come to here, and within 2 weeks of me getting back, I had a job in a gym. So I now work at a BFT, which is really big chain of group fitness gyms in Australia and New Zealand. There are a few in the UK as well, but it's not that big there yet. It seems to be really big down here, and I know I'm biased because I work there, but honestly, it is the best group training gym I've ever been to. And I've tried a lot. I've done the F45, done that kind of thing, but BFT is something else. Particularly my one in Wellington, we're a high rocks gym, and we put a lot of emphasis on high rocks training. And yeah, people are fit, people are strong here. So I was working there for just over a month before I got what I call my main job, my primary job. And I'm working for Transpower, which is the national grid here. And I am a property advisor. So I'm doing leases, rent renews, managing tenancies, property management, advising on acquisitions, disposals, that kind of thing. So lots of what I was doing in the UK really, and Transpower is a state-owned enterprise. So it's quite similar to when I used to work for Yorkshire Water and the NHS back in the UK. So yeah, that's kind of what keeps me busy during the day. And then I work at the gym mornings and evenings after work, and some weekends. Then obviously I have my own training. So it's busy. There's a lot going on. I also have obviously my own online coaching clients. So I'm just apparently allergic to rest. Finally we top with a little bit of spinach. So yeah, it's been a busy few months, but I just am so happy here. Moving to New Zealand has been a dream of mine for 11 years now. I first came to New Zealand in 2015 when I was a lowly backpacker on my summer break from university, UK summer, so Kiwi winter. Travelled around, completely and utterly fell in love with this country. It's very magical. There's a magic about being here. It's hard to articulate that. I think it's only really once you come here and you feel it for yourself. But the people are lovely. It's a very long way from home, which is kind of part of the appeal, if I'm being honest. But it also feels so familiar and like home, which is just so lovely. So yeah, I've really just loved being here. It's a dream come true. Yes, I work a lot. Yes, I'm tired a lot of the time, but God, I wouldn't have it any other way. I just feel so lucky that I get to live out my dream and be here and meet these incredible people from all over the world. I'm learning so much about Māori culture, about which I sort of was expecting to learn and hoping to learn about. You know, my work are really big on it. Even only last week I spent a full day workshop learning about the history of the relations between the Māori and the Crown, and gosh, as an English person that was confronting. But also about other, the Pacific region cultures. I'm learning so much about like Samoan and Tongan and Fijian culture just from being here, and it's so lovely and wonderful. And of course Australian, I'm watching an awful lot of Married at First Sight Australia. And yeah, honestly, I could not be happier. I think you can probably tell. Right, these go in for, there we go. These go in for about 15 to 20 minutes, depending how hot the oven is. And now we move on to lunches. The other thing I normally do whilst I am meal prepping, let me refill my glass. I normally have a drink of something, so these are my very nice wine glasses that my mum got me for Christmas. And obviously wine here is incredible. I have been on such a journey with my discovery and knowledge of Kiwi wine, but also beer, and it's just, yeah, it's so cool. But I'm actually not drinking at the moment. This week is week 10 of no alcohol for 12 weeks, because my mum came over at Christmas, which was lovely. But my God, did she and I hammer the wine. we were drinking every day, which was lovely because we were discovering Kiwi wines together. And you know, my mother and I, our love language is wine. But it was just a bit too much, and you know, going into a big summer, January being summer, of training, running, all this kind of stuff, I decided to go sober for 3 months. So I really haven't missed it. So my Sunday evening drink of choice, it used to be a red wine, is now a kombucha. There are so many good non-drinking alternatives here that make you still feel like you're having a nice drink. So you can obviously get the alcohol-free beers, but this is low bros and there's like no calories in it at all. It's absolutely wonderful. This one is a yuzu lemonade, which is actually a new flavor for me. I've not had a bad one of these yet. I think I've now tried almost all the flavors. I think the only one I haven't tried is blueberry, because I'm not the biggest fan of an artificial blueberry flavor. Honestly, cheers. So good. I'm very aware as I say that there is a bottle of sparkling wine on my dining table, but that's because it was my birthday 2 days ago, and I got sent a lovely hamper in the post of a load of New Zealand goodies, including chocolates, cheeses, that kind of thing, some lovely wine. So that is just waiting to be stored in the wine rack for now. But next we're going to prep lunches. So I've got these lovely glass Tupperwares that all have correlating days of the week lids. So I've got MT, WTF. I love it. I got them from Kmart. I think they were, I don't know, $10, $12 for the 5-pack. And there's something about a glass Tupperware that just feels so much more dignified and elevated and refined. A mix of crispy salad and a bit more spinach as the base. And then some more veggies. So I've got peppers, which are called capsicums in this part of the world. And cherry tomatoes are my veggies for today. And then my protein of choice is chicken that I pre-cooked in the air fryer. I always cook my chicken as soon as I get home from the shop. So I tend to do my weekly shop on a Saturday and then do all my food prep on a Sunday. But as soon as the chicken gets home from Pack and Save, which is the big budget supermarket here, I put it straight in the air fryer, cook it up for the week, so it's just done. And there's an immediate protein source there. So I'll top with chicken and then a little bit more feta cheese, and then this really cool avocado and garlic salad dressing that I found. I'm gonna do that 4 times through for my Tupperwares because I'm gonna be in the office for those days this week. I feel like there's probably so much more to catch up on. You know, it's been a very long time since I've been on here, but I am really excited to be back on YouTube. I've been doing a lot of short form content over on Instagram, a little bit on TikTok, but I'm a yapper. Look at me. I love to chit chat with everybody. So YouTube actually suits me so much better because a lot of the time I'm having to edit down 6 or 7 minutes worth of footage to try and get a 60 to 90 second reel, which is just not ideal. The algorithm over there does not favor the long form yappy content that is my preferred style. So I think I'm going to enjoy doing YouTube a little bit more